Hello and welcome to another very special show on the Tea and Tickers channel. Today it's my pleasure to welcome you to part one of two with a very special guest, fresh from hitting the incredible milestones of 100,000 subscribers and 1 million view hours in 28 days on YouTube. It's none other than Marko from the excellent
guys?
Swiss Watch Gang YouTube channel. How you doing, Marko?
Hey guys,
welcome
thank you for
and
having
congratulations.
me. Thank you.
Congratulations on the
Congrats.
massive milestone.
Yeah, good afternoon and welcome.
Thank you guys, appreciate it. Nice to be here. Yeah, it was 3 years in the making, so people don't see that usually, They only see the big
they
number.
just see the
now,
end
but,
result, do they?
Yeah.
They don't see the first video hitting 200 views in a week and me pulling my hair out. What am I doing wrong?
We know about feeling. We know about feeling all too well.
That's where we are right now.
Yeah.
So Marko, I'm going to start with asking you. So you've said in your videos that the inspiration for Swiss Watch Gang was Vacheron Constantin, Breguet, Audemars Piguet, and Urwerk, amongst others. What about them inspired you most, and who are the modern day watchmakers who inspire you currently today?
I mean, the beginning of Swiss Watch Gang was actually like a YouTube channel, which was talking about cars. And then it had the name Gang in it. So at the time, everybody used like society, club. So I was, let's say I was 24 years old when I started Swiss Watch Gang. So I wanted to be more fresh and youthful. And because I listened to hip hop, gangs seemed like suitable.
Yeah.
Although it's sometimes a controversial term, I don't know how it's gonna, do well in Google AdSense. But let's see. So far, it's been okay. But the first brand that inspired me, yeah, you're correct. Breguet, Vacheron, Urwerk, MBNF. That's the first watches I saw in magazines when I started learning about them, basically in 2010. It's like my family doesn't own watches. My father doesn't have a Rolex or Omega. I didn't get a watch when I turned 18. So I really had to start this journey on my own. So I had basically like a blank slate, so I could choose what I like. And because I didn't have any money anyway, I wasn't really restricted by pricing, So in my mind, I saw the Breguet double tourbillon, and I was like, yeah, I love that, I saw the Urwerk, the Cobra back then, and I was like, wow, this is crazy, And I remember like seeing the price point, and I was like, wow, this quote unquote simple looking watch costs, I don't know how much, 200,000 or something, or 300,000. And Vacheron Malte tourbillon, a very unpopular piece today, but back then I was like, wow, this is so cool. And the price is like 200K, and Ulysse Nardin, Genghis Khan, and those pieces, I was like, whoa. So my mind wasn't really like obstructed by any, Speedmaster, Submariners. That's why until starting YouTube, I never posted any big brand watch, no Omega, Tag Heuer, Rolex, nothing on my Instagram account. I only started later with YouTube because it's a much harder platform to grow with unknown brands. Just to have a nice mix of brands to introduce people who know Omega, AP, and these brands to smaller independents, and then also help those guys to basically lift their businesses up. So that was the beginning, a very poor and innocent way of starting to love watches. I mean, poor,
nice clean way.
Yeah.
You weren't influenced by anyone. You made your own decisions.
No,
okay.
Not really. Yeah.
So who now then? Who at the moment now that you've been on this journey in the rabbit hole? Who is it now for you?
So for me, because I'm also an entrepreneur and I started my business myself with no financing, no help from anybody, basically, aside from obviously an amazing moral support from my family and friends, to always say, yeah, you can do it. You can be the one, I love independent watchmakers, especially new ones coming up. That's why I always reach out when I see people like I saw Felipe Pikulik or Ruben Scoots from Australia or Theo Frey, Remy Kuz, I tell those guys, hey, listen, just take the time, come to Zurich, let's shoot a video together. And, this is what I can do for you for the next generation. I love to support also young, like up and coming CEOs like Pierre Beaver, with whom we did a video together on his collection. I think it's going to be a very important video down the line, like the first Jean-Claude Beaver video with Hodinky, for example, maybe, Akrivia I love a lot, because we are both from the Balkans, came to Switzerland basically I at a later stage, him when he was younger. So we kind of connect that way as well. But I also love AP. You know, I love AP. I love special Rolexes. I am waiting on a very cool delivery by the end of this year, hopefully, if it's gonna come. Urwerk I love because it's one of those, you know, first brands. So eventually I want to have one. Yeah, just independence, you know. And if somebody is doing something new, like Theo Frey now with, I think the founder of Nevada, I'm not sure if Guillaume, they're doing like a new brand that's gonna come out. I think it's gonna be 1,500 euros or something. You know, I'm excited for this because it brings you like a crazy piece which used to cost 200K below 5K, and it's just fun to wear.
Well, thank you. That's you're showing your wealth of knowledge there. You're showing your vast knowledge there. A lot of brands I must admit I've not heard of, but no, it's amazing.
I'll
Thank
give
you
you
for
the links. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, sure. Of course, we'll add them into the comment, into the description.
Absolutely, yeah. So leading with, gosh, so many brands you mentioned there. So my question comes more to the angle of your collection. So I recently saw your collection review, which is just insane.
Yeah,
and I love to get to know the person behind the collection, because it's just, you find so many collectors have different things, different qualities they look for in a watch. So because your collection is so vast and a lot of contrast in there, I'm just wondering what, you know, makes a piece stand out to you, what makes it special, because it's certainly not the price point. You're very varied, right, with what you choose. So yeah, just your thought process when you think, okay, this one's for me.
Like many watches in the, let's say, sub $2,000 range, I probably bought on the secondary like e-commerce platform here in Switzerland, like Ricardo. Like I love to buy pocket watches, table clocks, and those are usually based on just design. You know, like if I see something unusual and I'm like, wow, I would love to hoard this on my table in the office, I'm gonna buy it. And if the price doesn't go too crazy, of course, I just want to have one in my life. And you know, worst case, I just sell it, and maybe like sometimes I had like a loss on the pieces because they just didn't fit me, and sometimes even they go up, you know. But usually I buy stuff just because I like it visually predominantly. I do have like a few pieces that I want to buy. So this year, like it's funny, this year actually I'm seriously thinking how to downgrade the collection quantity wise, because when I did the video, I was like, wow, this is so many watches I never wear actually, you know, because you have one wrist, like the watches I have brought to you here as well for part 2 of the podcast. I haven't worn some of them in a while, you know, and I think it's a shame. So I think I'm gonna let go of many pieces, not because really I want to monetize on some of them going, you know, higher in price, but just more like I have people that told me, hey, I love this watch you have, and then I want to give them the chance to buy it off of me, just because I want these things to be worn somehow, you know. Like it sounds weird, but sometimes I'm sad with seeing them in the safe. It's a very luxury problem to have, obviously, I know that, but it's like, wow, so many watches that nobody wears. It's like, it feels like a waste, you know, somehow.
Yeah.
So I want to maybe like downgrade the quantity, but upgrade the quality, meaning let's say sell 5 to 10 pieces for, let's say, 30-40K, and buy like a nice 30-40K piece, you know.
Nice.
Super hard, but I'll try.
No, it sounds like a goal, definitely. And just a part 2 of that question is, how do your pieces influence the content you produce? So say you suddenly, you know, you go down the rabbit hole of chronographs, would that suddenly spark an inspiration, you know, in your content creation as well? Or does it work separately?
No, it's purely based on brands. So like I used to collect Pokemon when I was a kid. So kind of I sometimes say the joke from my channel, I gotta catch them all. Like I want to have all the independence on my channel, you know. That's why we have such a wide diversity. Like I want to go to the Czech Republic and do a video again with Hodinky Berkus. I want to go to Japan because the guys from Kikuchi Nakagawa will probably never see Switzerland in the next few years because they're so busy. You know, I want to go to Hungary to meet Bexay watches. Again, brands who a very small type of community know, but I just want to go there and, hey guys, I'm here, let's do this video, and otherwise we'll never do it probably. It's more inspired by brands. If I see something I haven't covered yet, and if I like it, obviously also brands reach out to me. We decline many of them because I don't think some are ready yet. Obviously, I have a responsibility to the community to really share stuff I think is worthy showing, or that I at least can step behind. But oftentimes it's also connected to the people behind it. Like I have big brands which the people behind I don't like, because either they ghosted me in the past, not from like an ego standpoint, but more of a they just didn't follow up back, and I felt like I am begging for basically giving them free promotion.
Yeah.
And at that point I'm like, you know what, if you don't see that essentially your clients watch my videos, then I can't convince you, and I don't want to convince you basically. So it's usually by brand, let's say, for now.
Okay,
For
cool.
now.
No, thank you. Really interesting, yeah.
Excellent. My personal collection seems to have gone towards military watches quite a lot, like issued ones and ones that inspired. Is that something you kind of interested in? Would you be planning to get any military watches or anything like that?
For now, not really. Like I love the big what's it called? I think it's maybe Stova. Like at Bayer in Zurich, we had like a big watch. Was probably like a watch that you put around your leg when you fly a plane.
It's like the old Japanese guy, the kamikaze pilots. You just strap it to the leg.
Yeah, that was sick. So I would love to have it, but again, I'm now at this stage when I don't want to just buy a watch to put it in the box. So no, at the moment, not really. It doesn't really intrigue me because I never studied war or military. And I was born in '91, so essentially we were kind of, not part of any of these hardships, so to speak. So my childhood was Pokemon, Digimon, anime, Beyblades. We played football. We didn't have laptops and PCs. So it was a good, I think, middle ground for both generations.
Yeah.
So no, not military yet.
No,
not yet. Huh?
Don't worry.
Yeah, you never know.
Yeah.
There's a lot of military watches out there that are collectible, and probably get around to those later. But I've got a question for you, Marko, just more on your YouTube journey. So congratulations again on hitting 100,000 subs.
Thank you.
And for our viewers and for the benefit of all content creators out there and in here, what has been the most rewarding part since you started creating content, and how did you decide that was the best, the highlight for you? And then what has also been the most challenging aspect of YouTube you've encountered, and how did you tackle it?
So I think one of the coolest things is that you meet people who you used to watch on YouTube, right? So, you watch Nico and then you have a chance to do a video with him and you see his life. You can analyze, okay, he has these watches. That's the kind of house he has, these cars, this family structure. So it's like, as an entrepreneur, it's nice to compare and to see, okay, this is what he has. Do I want this? Yes, no. I like this aspect. I don't like this one this much. We met Supercar Blondie, which was cool. Again, a woman I just watched on YouTube, and then we shot an email. I'm going to be in Dubai. A few emails later, we made it happen. And you see watches that you will never see in your life, probably. So people invite you to stuff. They come to you, hey, I have this watch, either because of you or you will never see this, and then I try to guess. Once I had a guy make me guess a watch just by touching it. That was a bit weird, but eventually I found out what it was.
Yeah, that's
Wow.
maybe
Okay.
we'll talk about that afterwards.
Yeah.
He's like,
Is that video? Yeah, I'm making. Did he video that? Wow.
No.
Not
Pokemon
children.
blindfolded.
That was too weird to video. But also, like, it's just like I wanted so badly for this to be my life, and essentially have the full control on the content I do. And now I have it because I have also the support of brands and retailers, so I can basically finance all of this. And I'm not alone. I don't edit. I don't record the videos. I used to, but I'm not anymore, thankfully. I mean, I never edited, to be transparent. I always edit. But the best thing is to be free. Obviously, the money that comes from YouTube itself is not a lot because I live in Zurich. So essentially, it's insurance and a few things I can cover for now. But obviously, the brands bring in more and more money, which is good. And yeah, I mean, meeting the people, traveling, and really just being in control of your life more. That's the goal for me. Not have anybody to tell me what to do. Basically, that's the best.
Being the boss.
Has good and bad things. Good and bad things, because you have to wake up and do it yourself, basically.
Okay. So what was the most difficult part? Motivating yourself? The biggest challenge?
Most difficult part was definitely the connection between. I have this big Instagram account which doesn't care about my YouTube channel. That was definitely the first thing. Because I thought somebody's gonna go watch the videos. No. So I see many people are like not really connected. So that's why my Instagram didn't really grow that much since my YouTube grew. So I saw, okay, I have to tackle this platform basically like as a baby on its own. So the struggle was just mental. You really do a lot of work for a video. You think you did a nice thumbnail title, then you press publish and the thing is the 10 out of 10 and you're like, yeah, you just want to quit this stuff. It's weird because you get such a high from like a nice video. Like Nico's video went to the moon, so it's the best performing so far. We hit 300,000 views in, I think, I don't know, 10 or 12 days, which was insane. He's actually maybe 15,000 views away from surpassing my Supercar Blondie video, which is now on the channel since January last year.
Wow.
Which is insane. So the next video I'm going to publish, I have to prepare myself that it's going to suck performance-wise, right? Because it's not going to get the same amount of views. But again, it's much better than the 200 per week I used to get 3 years ago. That was tough because you spend all this money on videos and people were like, why do you have this many views? Like, it doesn't make sense. So I'm like, yeah, I know, just share it. So the struggle is like just keeping it up.
Yeah,
but it's also part of the game, so it gets easier with time because you get smarter, kind of.
You don't sound that convinced.
Yeah. I mean, listen. When I finish
100,000 subs, you're still not convinced. Well, what chance have we got?
You're not. No, you're not convinced because you make a thumbnail, you do a title, you're like, I hope this is it. It's like,
yeah. Sounds about it.
We know the feeling, and
we know
that's where we are, right? Yeah. We are exactly.
Yeah.
We're exactly where you were 3 years ago. We're at that point. So,
I know
it's tough. It's really tough. Yeah.
It does get better, but it sucks at the beginning for sure. It's not easy.
Yeah.
But they say it takes 10 years to really to break to make something out of something. So I'm in it for the long run. Like like last year we grew for 60,000 subscribers, I think. And so the first year was, I think, 10 maybe. So it gets easier. The start is always tough. It's the same story all over again.
Okay, so the biggest challenge was growth then, basically, right?
Growth, motivation, also navigating how to price videos with brands, navigating which brand to do it for free with or which not, or declining sometimes brands because just you offer them, let's say, a price, they said no, but you really want to feature the brand, but you're like, okay, but I can't say for free now because that's gonna sound weird as an entrepreneur. You know what I mean? Like you said money and now you don't want money. Like, what do you want? It's hard navigating this, overall.
Okay, thanks for your honesty there, and there's a lot for people to take on board out there and in here.
Yeah, I'm an open book, so you can ask me anything.
Thank you, Marko.
Brilliant. Yeah. Awesome. So, a question from my side be, again, going back to one of your videos from around 5 months ago, your Cartier piece unique. Firstly, I'm a huge Cartier fan, so huge congratulations on that.
Thank
and
you.
Again, just 5 pieces, right? There were 5 unique pieces to choose from. What made it the Tank Louis? What made you go for that one in particular?
Yeah, it was 18 piece uniques. It was even harder.
Okay. Oh, 18, sorry. Yep.
Yes, because it was 6 watches, 3 metals. So with Louis Cartier, Santos Dumont, Cintré, asymmetric cloche. I forgot something. And tonneau. I mean, it was actually really easy because the club is structured with many loyal members, right? So I was lucky to be amongst one of them to be chosen to get one because I owned the Hublot from the previous launch. So it's actually based on a tier basis. So if you have the Hublot, you can choose more. If you have even the Ulysse Nardin from before, you can choose even more. So for me, I didn't want to buy nothing in that 25, 30 K area with the cloche asymmetric, because for me, I want watches in that area which have, let's say, much more watchmaking. So I think spending money just on the design element, I'm not there yet. So I said, okay, I want to have the Santos Dumont or the Louis Cartier. And then the Santos Dumont was basically somebody who was a member since the inception. So I couldn't compete with that. So I said, okay, listen, obviously you take it. So I chose, I think, between the yellow gold and the rose gold Louis Cartier, and I take the rose gold, of course. Suits me better. So yeah, it was an easy choice actually.
Yeah. Okay. No, it makes sense.
Easier than you think. Sense, yeah, but yeah. It's a nice watch. Yeah. It's cool because people don't notice what it is, like that it's different, But when they do, it's like, oh, you have a unique Cartier. But because I'm in this, I don't know. I don't even know how special it is. It sounds weird maybe, but like I can probably order a special edition from Cartier now if I really ask. So. Again, with time, this access also comes. So
yeah,
you start to not appreciating things as much as you did with the magazine back in the day.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, you get spoiled.
Yeah. No, absolutely. But yeah, incredible piece. Yeah. And yeah, it doesn't get much better for me than a piece unique. Yeah. Awesome.
Marko, going back to what you said about your channel, just amazed me. I picked up on something a few minutes ago. You're running this completely by yourself, as in you're doing all the editing, everything yourself. Are you?
No.
Team. No, you have a team.
No. Yes, I have a team. Yes, exactly.
You do have a team, right? I couldn't work out what you said. Thought,
yes.
Wow.
No. God, no. No, thanks.
Guys, I thought I know what it's like with the channel. Our side with these two guys especially, because I started it, but it's all three of us now because I couldn't do what we do on our own. With these two are flat out, and I thought, did Marko just say that he run it himself? No, I've got to ask him that.
Easy.
So how many have you got on your team, please?
I mean, so for the videos, let's say you only need it. I mean, if you have one good guy, that would be enough. But we have one just for color grading and one does the editing basically. And depends what video we do, we use two for editing. So I have Effect Agency on the side. So I'm a 1/3 owner of Effect Agency in Zurich, and I basically use their services, aka 1/3 my services, to execute the videos. So it's like a win-win situation because my channel promotes the services as well, so the B2B company also grows. So I'm using knowledge from of people who have 15 years of video experience. So it's that's why we do the content, we do the color grading is good, because I have guys with 3 screens there and a $15,000 setup just for color grading. Which we also use for B2B clients.
Yeah.
Right. So three people altogether, you and 2 other people, all full time.
Yeah, exactly.
All full time.
Yeah.
That just gives us an idea of future.
Yeah, but I would need more for sure. Like I would need more somebody to just send to like somebody to send to the Netherlands, shoot this watch, bring back the footage, let's shoot the video here. Like you can, if you want to scale it, there's no limit to how many people you need. Let's say that's the goal for this year, to go a step above.
Brilliant.
crush it.
Thank you, Marko. Excellent.
Awesome.
Really, really helpful. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Well,
Appreciate
thanks. Thank you, Marko. We could talk all day to you about this. I mean, we might take you hostage or something, but for now, we're going to have to wrap up. So thank you very much, and thank you at home for watching. We hope you enjoyed getting to know Marko, and tune in for part 2 of this very special Tea and Ticker show.
Thank you,
So
guys.
where
Appreciate it.
Marko will be going through some special pieces in his collection. So thank you very much for watching, guys, and goodbye from me, and goodbye from these guys.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Goodbye.
Thank you.